The big advantage of a reeving eye is its ability to squeeze down to almost the diameter of the original rope. This allows us to insert it into, say, dock cleats or eye bolts where the rope would fit through the eye, but a larger normal type of loop knot or splice wouldn't. The disadvantage of it is that it takes about twice as much rope to make, and probably it's not quite as strong as some of the other splices that we've discussed. What makes it flexible is that the eye body itself only has 2 strands. One of the strands is dropped and incorporated into the main body of the splice at the last stage. This splice also introduces us to long splicing techniques which require additional skills. So in summary, we unlaid all 3 strands back to the tape that we marked on the working eye, which is the length of the long splice, about 2 feet. And then we, in addition, unwound one of the strands back to the tape here, which is equivalent to the length of the loop. We can cut this strand off so that it's easier to unwind further. And we can throw that rope aside. Now we can take the tape off at the standing part, and we'll begin the unlay of our standing part strand. And then we'll pick a strand that looks like it's ready to lay in, and yet at about the same size as our proposed eye. It looks like right about here would be the way to go. So we'll use this strand. Over twist the working part, get it in position, and let it relax. Then repeat. Unwind the standing part strand 1 pitch, and then get the working part strand in position. Over twist it so that it gets small. Get it into the open void and let it relax. And you can see how the rope looks just like it was never unlaid. We'll keep working our way down the rope until the 2 strands are about of equal length, but that should be a minimum of 5 pitches. Now we can cut the standing part strand off so that it's also about the same length, and throw that away. Now there's several ways of making a long splice finish. This is just one of them. Take the strands and unravel them. Okay, we'll split it roughly in half. So in our case, that's 3 strands. We'll take the 3 strands that look to be that they're the most buried, and we'll set them aside and take the other strands and make an overhand knot. tighten that up so that it gives the illusion that it's a continuous strand. There. Now we have 4 strands to finish off. The 2 that we made into the overhand knot, and then the other 2. We'll finish the 2 that we formed the overhand knot in first. We'll just do an over and under tuck. There's 2 tucks, and I'll drop a strand, do another tuck, I'll drop a strand and do a final tuck. I'll repeat that with the strand that was incorporated in the overhand knot on the other side. We'll get all of our strands tightened up. Now the 2 strands that we didn't tie into the knot, we'll split that in half, and we'll just follow in the direction of the original. We'll just do a back tuck, sailor splice fashion around the strand that is which is that knot. And the other one, again, the strand that is formed with the knot, we'll just spiral it around that strand. There. Now we can tighten up all of our strands. We'll leave these and trim them off later. Now we'll deal with the strand that we left behind at the throat of the splice. Rewind the strand until it's about as tight as it can get at the throat of the splice. This is too far. So what we'll do then is we'll tuck it between the 2 strands on the other side. There. Now where it comes out, we'll flatten it, and we're going to do a back. We're going to go over that strand, and then we're going to tuck under 2. Remembering that tucking under 2 is the same as tucking under 1 on the other side of the rope. Since this splice has 3 different tuck patterns, I thought maybe it'd be good to review. I've taken some tape and made a black pseudo strand going through here so we can see the pattern. This is just a straight over and under tuck, and you can see how the strand spirals slowly around the rope in the tucking process. And then the other common way of tucking is the spiral or the sailor's splice tuck, and that's where a strand spirals around one of the extending part strands for this whole length. And you can see that this also spirals around the rope, but it also leaves the space between the strands open for worming. And on the last tuck that we made, where it was 1 over and 2 under, that's what this pattern looks like. You can see we come up and then a backhanded 2 under, and it comes out over here, backhanded 2 under, and it comes out over here. And so the strand spirals in a complicated fashion around the rope quite at a higher rate than the other 2 splices. This splice also leaves the space between the strands open for worming. Well, here's our reeving eye finished up. You can see how flexible the eye is, and when squeezed down it's not much bigger than the rope. And then this is the long splice and the finishing splice at the end of it. And then this is the over 1 and under 2 splice that we used to finish that single strand that ran between the 2 strands at the neck. And then on all of them I tapered the splices so that the diameter of the rope stays fairly constant, and that'll help in a situation where we have a tight eye to reeve the rope through. And the whole purpose of this splice is to keep the diameter of the rope pretty much uniform so that it can go through an eye, and that justifies the extra effort to make it.